I want to share a story with you. I want to share an example with you. This example is of a caterpillar. A caterpillar who all year round eats leaves and other things. And at one point, when a caterpillar, when it wants to go through a state change, it slowly creates a cocoon. And this cocoon, this shell, it remains in. And it grows. And it grows. And it struggles. And it doesn't have an external way of getting food. And it doesn't have somebody coming along and giving it water. It struggles. And we as human beings in this life, we also struggle. We also go through struggles. Whether you are a Muslim, an atheist, a Christian, a Jew, or Lady Gaga, you will go through some struggles in life. Now what happens in this cocoon? If you go along when this caterpillar, and this caterpillar is trying to escape slowly and is struggling out of the cocoon. This caterpillar, if you go along and you try and break open the cocoon to try and help it, it falls to the floor. And that's the end of it. But if you leave it there to let it struggle, to let it strive, to let it grow, it turns and breaks into a beautiful butterfly. And this is the example of this life. The example of this life is such that we will also always go through struggles. We will always have some sort of financial issue. We will always have some sort of health issue. We will always have some sort of personal problem, or a problem with our family, or a problem with our work. There is no human being on this planet except that they go through some forms of struggle. Since we go through these struggles, we should ask a question, a very basic question. What's the point? What's the point of carrying on? Why don't we just give up? If we only go from one state of problems to another state, what's the problem? You see, there has to be something that drives a human being, that makes a human being think, you know what? I've got something to look forward to. There is something that I need to go towards. There is a goal, there is ambition, there is a landmark that I need to head towards. And when you have that in your mind, and you know that that is your goal, there is something that keeps driving you. This is why human beings, when they lose the willpower to live, they can die even if they're millionaires and even if their health is good. Because the willpower to live, the willpower to remain, to struggle, is something which drives a human being to do the actions that they're going to do. Now the question really is this: who defines your goals? Have you defined them yourself? Have you understood what the purpose of life is? Why you actually exist in the first place? I'm here to share a message, and I'm not just here to preach to you. If you disagree with me, you can shout, "This is Speaker's Corner." You can say, "I totally disagree." But what I'm about to say, I believe, is very rational, is very commonsensical, and is very natural to the human being. The first thing is this: if we imagine that the only one that can tell us our purpose of life is the one who created us, is the one who fashioned us, then we would know that this is the being who would know what the actual purpose of life is, rather than us defining it in an arbitrary way. The Creator would know what's actually good for us.